This stage that I'm playing right here is stage 912, and have a look at the setup that I'm going for. I've got a Taunt and a Blaze to hold on the lanes, and if I ever need additional support, I can simply blast away some of my strongest operator skills, like Chen Outer, Aya, Silver Ash, and let me just turn on Taunt's infinite skill. So there's so many stacked operators over here, even a Golden Glow to support if anyone leaks past my Taunts. Then, if you have an account that looks just like this one, what's the point of owning a Horn? So if you see Horn's range, it is a lot bigger than some of your familiar operators. Horn is a great introduction to the Fortress branch. So I can place her right behind Taunts, and you can see how she's supporting to add additional damage to the front. Now, I'm gonna stop Chen's skill, and we're actually gonna remove Blaze along with Aya, so that you can see just how much damage a Horn is able to deal. So we're gonna see all these defenders coming in. I'm currently using a Horn on skill tree M3, and then let the explosions begin. So take a look, this is Horn skill 3 in action, and it's actually cleaning up all of these heavy defenders, and by the way, these guys have heavy defense, while Horn is actually dealing physical damage. Let me just turn on Golden Glow so that guy doesn't leak. So in this video, we're going to discover what Horn can do for your account. Let me first show you how Horn is already very powerful at Elite 1. I'm currently using a skill 2, which means that each attack deals 190% attack as physical splash damage. When she's in overload mode, meaning she has 5 bullets left out of her 10, each attack will deal 40% additionally as art splash damage. If you were to cancel those bullets within the overload mode, she'll fire all of them and she will lose 60% HP. So let's first place her down over here, and we're just gonna see her do normal attacks. And you can see it's already pretty darn powerful to remove the spiders. She has an attack of 990 by the way, already just at Elite 1. I'm gonna place my Susuro to heal her in case she loses too much HP. And I'm just gonna time her skill to kind of pop off just as this guy is walking away. Right? So when Horn is attacking only one target, she will only be able to focus on that target. But when there's no one that she's blocking, now take a look at this, I'm on her skill 2. I'm actually gonna stop her skill and make her launch all her bullets. And that's a huge amount of damage onto the defender leader. Alright, we'll wait for her skill to just refill again. Now, if there are multiple enemies being blocked, Horn can only attack one at a time. But as soon as you turn on her skill again, she'll actually be able to launch onto all of them. Just as you see. Alright, so she's dealing all the AoE damage again. Let me just launch the bullets so that she can help to take out as many people as she can. Alright, she's doing what she can. And then now she's blocking onto way too many people. She's trying her best. But yeah, she's gonna have to leak some. This is an Elite 1 Horn, so I don't expect her to kill everybody. But you can already see how she's really done good at handling this stage on her own. If you want to pop all the bullets, you could. But if you don't want to lose the HP, you can just let it slowly launch and get rid of the people. Apparently she's struggling to even kill people behind her. So anyways, that's just an Elite 1 Horn. Already very impressive doing this stage on her own. Now I've got an Elite 2 Horn on my hand, and by the way, this is a max level, max potential Horn that I borrowed from a friend. I'm gonna place her right here, where her range is touching the red box. Let me also just complete the setup. I'm gonna feed a Wandering Medic right over there, and then also have a Blaze on top. So I turn on Horn skill 2, and remember that her skill allows her to just launch all her bullets. So against annoying enemies like a sanity lowering flower, just as you see, as soon as Horn turns into overload mode, I can just stop her skill and launch a huge amount of damage onto the flower. So it reaches to the point where the flower can't even deal that much sanity damage onto Horn. Very, very nice to see, and we're gonna do the same thing again. As soon as Horn's skill goes up, we'll turn it on, and she'll be launching, and then she'll hurt this smaller mob just once, and we want her to go to overload mode again, and launch all her bullets onto the next flower. Really, really strong skill. So it's very nice to see, and by the way, if you remember something about her skill 2, it says that she loses 60% HP. I've used her skill twice, so in fact, Horn should be killed at this point. But when you Elite 2 her, she does have a second talent that says instead of retreating, when defeated, recover her HP to max, she'll have minus 50% max HP, and she'll be attacking a lot faster. So this is a really nice skill, very similar to Blaze by the way, except that she does get an ASPD boost. So you can tell that she is receiving the boost because her eye has turned red. Okay, I'm gonna turn on Horn skill. So she's actually gonna deal with the first to top, just as you see. She'll deal whatever bullets she can. Boom. And then let's launch all the bullets. Boom. And just like that, the boss has been eliminated thanks to Horn skill 2. So you can see how this skill can be really fun to use, but there is a detriment that I don't like about Horn skill 2, which is you must be very calculated as to when you actually turn on the skill. Because if you're not too careful, then if you try to turn off your skill like right now, before the overload mode happened, you might think this would launch all the bullets. In fact, no, this will actually stop the skill. So yeah, that's something that I don't really enjoy about Horn skill 2, but if you can time it really well, you can see where there's some potential with a skill like this. As I move on to Horn skill 3, we're now at the stage of 716, an infamously hard stage. So let me just set up my operators over here. I'm going to use a Golden Glow to help me deal with the shield guards as soon as her skill is turned on, because the shield guards have taunt, so Golden Glow will always be attacking them. And then I'm going to place Horn 2 tiles behind Mountain. So in this stage, there's a Mortar Gunner, or actually quite a few, they'll spawn on the top left. Now I have an issue. I need to heal all my operators and I've only brought a Telopsis. And the best way to heal everyone is by either placing Telopsis here or maybe over here. But then I'm placing my Horn right here in just a little bit. So is it totally fine that I just do this and then Horn sits in the back? So here's a really weird motto for you to take away from this video. Always kill your Horn. Yes, you heard that right. Always kill her. Now the idea of this is that her second talent will increase her ASPD as soon as you deplete her HP for the first time. Yes, she is getting less max HP, but you always want to try to enjoy this ASPD benefit as much as possible. So on her skill tree, which I haven't read yet, her attack will increase by 70% and she'll attack a lot faster than before. In the overload mode, her attack will actually increase by 140%, 2.4 times, and then she'll start losing HP over time. So I'm actually just going to activate her skill, and then look at her eliminate the Mortar Gunner, together with the Herald as well. Gonna turn on Golden Glow skill in order to deal with the Shield Guard. And yes, her HP is really low, but again, don't be scared about it, because, again, Horn has a second life, and you can use it to the fullest. So I'm gonna activate her skill as soon as it's ready. Let's go, explode. And then, even though she's going to decrease her HP, lose it all the way, and enter the second bar of health, the great thing about this is that she can attack a lot faster than before, and it's going to be really helpful in this scenario. So you see the other Herald just coming in. Alright, she's attacking so much quicker, and then as soon as I can pop her skill, I'll be doing this to simply just explode at the Herald. There's one that's escaping, don't worry, Golden Glow can help me deal with it. So you can see how Horn can be really helpful in not just this stage, but probably a lot of other stages that comes to your mind. Horn skill 3 is definitely her strongest skill, and let's use it against the boss of Jesselton in MB8. So I place her right over here, and as soon as the skill is ready, I'll just turn it on, and watch her deal against Jesselton. I'm just gonna do a bit of stun so that Jesselton is held in play. Right, and then stun him just a little bit more again. I'm gonna place a blaze right here. And look at that, a single skill tree entry use and the boss is down already. Of course, Jesselton does have lower defense, so that's why you can see him wiped in a single skill use. But in the second state, he does have a higher defense. I'm still gonna use Horn against him. So I place a Bagpipe and a Spectre just over there. We're gonna see this being very helpful later on. And then I'm waiting for the enemy that has 2 giant balls underneath him. So it's this guy right over here. And then I'm going to turn on Horn skill a little bit earlier. So this is again called preemptive firing. Basically, I'm trying to get her into the overload state where she have a higher attack and ASP, not really ASPD, just higher attack. So that she can deal against this guy. Alright, I'm going to remove Bagpipe because I don't want to add too much damage. I just want to show you how a Horn and a Spectre is able to deal with Jesselton. So Horn is already in her second life where she has the higher ASPD. Let's wait until Jesselton gets very close. And as soon as he's just already in Horn's range, then I'll turn on Horn skill. And I'll turn on Spectre's invulnerability state, where she can't die, in order to hold on to Jesselton. And just like that, increase ASPD, increase attack, almost hit the point where you can actually kill Jesterton, but if not, I'm just going to use Blaze to stun Jesterton a little bit. Not Blaze, but the towers. And there you go. Horn nearly wiped out Jesterton despite the higher defense. So you can see how this increased range can be really sweet to use, especially when trying to not get the bosses to attack you. So this is where Horn really thrives. Now I should give some screen time to Horn skill 1. As much as it's a very niche skill, there are times that it can be very useful. So I'm going to place Horn right over here, and let's read the skill 1. The next attack deals 280% attack as physical damage. This is an M3 Horn, by the way. If it is a range attack, the splash area is a lot bigger, and there's going to be an illuminated zone created for 8 seconds. This will disable enemy invisibility. So this beautiful glow is able to reveal invisible enemies as they walk past. So as you see over there, it's being used just right about now. All these enemies are invisible, and then there you go. So we can actually eliminate them very easily. So there are times that this can go pretty wrong though. So take a look at this point where we're halfway in the stage. So since there's only camouflage enemies being spawned, Horn doesn't throw the light in time. And because of that, now we have a cluster of enemies over here. So the big problem with a skill 1 is that you must have enemies before the camouflage ones in order to deal with the stage. If not, then Horn can't actually do this beautiful skill. So there are times that it's okay, and then if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't look as nice. There was one stage that I thought to be pretty useful when it comes to using Horn skill 1. So this stage right here, SN9, there's this particular Predator guy that hits really hacking hard. Actually, I don't even remember what's his exact name, but whatever it is, he's not a good person. So with Horn's revealing invisibility skill, what I can basically do is that I don't want this guy to touch my operators ever, because he smacks really hacking hard. So the moment he approaches close to Irene, thanks to the glow of light, I can actually use Irene's skill from a distance. So we're gonna see in play just in a little bit. So he's invisible now. And you can see, because of the glow, I can actually turn on Irene's skill right over here to kill him off. So it's a really rare opportunity where Horn's skill does turn out very good, but it's not gonna look very nice at the end because there's no enemies for me to actually throw the glow of light. So you can see I've already reached the point where it's the end of the stage and there's no glow of light for me to actually reveal this particular enemy. So it's a bit of a pickle now. Horn's gonna struggle a little bit for me, but not to worry, I can just turn on the skill and still eliminate the guy. But yeah, only managed to really use the skill usefully once in this stage. There's some other stages where it's gonna be a lot nicer to use Horn, and especially in IS3 as well. But if not, skill 1 is quite a rarity to appear. So as far as you've watched in this video, you can clearly see that Horn is a really strong operator. Let's do one more grand final showcase in this stage of M86, an infamously difficult stage. So, I have Horn right here. She's dealing with the frontal enemies in the very first shield guard. Next, I'm going to place a Perfumer together with a Skadi Alter. Now the reason for doing this is that Perfumer talent states that she restores the HP of all allies by a certain amount, and these allies also refer to the shield guard. So it's going to give them a bit of breathing space by having a tiny more healing. I'm going to turn on Horn's skill right at this point, and I'm also going to place a Taunt right there. So with Skadi Alter right beside Perfumer, this is going to help to buff Perfumer's healing a little bit more. And I'm going to turn on Perfumer's skill, just to give some breathing space. Now the reason why Horn is so good in this stage is because, typically, the way that people try to deal with this stage is to place an operator over here. But the problem is that it's very hard to keep this operator alive, especially when the thrower keeps hitting at them. So hence, with Horn being at such a further safe distance, it is really nice to use Horn to just clean sweep everybody who's bothering the shield guard, just as you see. I've also got the Seaborn to just buff Horn's attack a little bit more. And then right here, I'll just place Weedy in, because I'm gonna actually push the first red guy inwards so that he doesn't hurt the shield guard too badly. Just like that. Right, looking good as of what it is. And then at this juncture, I will then turn on Horn's skill to assist me. Let's also buff Horn's attack. And then with a nice little cleanup, and there you go. I clear the stage without killing the frontal shield guards or any of the shield guards. By the way, are any of these operators your favorite? Because good news for you, if you look at Horn's talent, The first talent reads that when this unit is on the field, defender operators gain 20% more attack, which is a humongous boost. So, if you happen to have a defender heavy composition, or even if you're just bringing 2 or 3 defenders, it might be nice to also add in a Horn. Let's close off with what Masteries to work on. The usual skill to go for definitely for Horn is on her skill tree, because this skill is extremely powerful to use. Then, after you're done with the skill tree, and M3 by the way, then you work on skill 1. And skill 1, you do not have to M3 it, you only need to M1 it, and this is with the consideration of whether or not you will use the skill. The reason why you want to M1 skill 1 is that this will allow the glow to constantly be placed. The problem with it at rank 7 is that the glow doesn't match well with the time that it takes for the next glow to spawn. So with it being at minimally M1, you will try to have a constant glow as long as there's always enemies that Horn can hit. Then when we move to the problem of skill 2, as you see, my issue with skill 2 is the fact that you can only do the unique ability of firing all the bullets when Horn is in overload mode. If not, you have to kind of prepare it to happen. It is a very nice skill to use, but it is quite rare that this will be in play. Hence, I don't suggest it that much, but if you insist, then I would say to do skill 3 M3, then skill 1 M1, and then skill 2 M3. Then if you actually want to boost up skill 1, you could, but you don't need the extra boost in attack all that much. Otherwise, I've enjoyed making this video for Horn, and I hope you enjoyed the video as well. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.